Hello everybody, welcome to my kitchen. So I thought I would mix things up with my podcast moving forward and share with you a little bit more from kind of, what I'm doing, wherever I'm at. So I had a very kind of template format where I would record these pretty much in my office, but with my mic and all the setup and everything, which is amazing, I think, when you've got loads of guests or, I want to talk about something, but I'm just such a dynamic person and sitting still doesn't bring me to my best. So I happened to be here, so I was just filming a reel and I thought, oh my God, I'll just film this here too. So as you can see on the fridge there behind me, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see they are our manifestos for this year. So kind of what we're manifesting. You can see the pile of leaves in my garden, but we're moving from this house in 8 weeks time. So we are like, yeah, keep it going, keep it where it needs to be, get a gardener in, but we are leaving soon. Cannot freaking wait. We're getting a brand new house. So what did I want to talk about? I wanted to talk about limiting beliefs, and I want to talk about conditional beliefs, and I want to talk about how I really see the two things as different, and where in my world they come up a lot, where I have felt like I thought something was limiting when actually it was conditional, and vice versa, and where I really believe in order to create something major moving forward, in order to kind of have a quantum leap, scale your business, grow yourself, leave a relationship, start a relationship, all of those things, what's kind of necessary. Now, the one downside to being in my kitchen is that my dogs are in here and they want to drink water loudly, and Mino is currently trying to fish a dog rock, which is like basically a rock that has minerals to stop the wee ruining the grass. Mino, put the rock back. So, welcome to my world. So, limiting and conditional beliefs, let's talk about that. So, first of all, to me, a limiting belief, Mino pig, enough, babe, stop. Right, a limiting belief to me is really a belief that completely is a flat no, hold you back. You can't even move from, point A to B because you're like, right, this is it. I don't believe that's possible for me. No can do. So a limiting belief would sound something like, oh no, I can't lose weight. I'm always going to be a size 12. I'm never going to earn more than 40 grand a year. I'll never be happy. But that's a limiting belief, right? It's a flat no. It sounds like but, it sounds like can't, it sounds like should, it sounds like won't. It's those kind of words and language will often show up in a limiting belief. Now, a limiting belief usually comes from, whether it's childhood, it comes from an experience, it comes from life, right? Because we have experiences and they tell us things. Now, you can choose to give that meaning or not. You can choose to make an experience you have mean something or not. If you make it mean something, you make it limiting. You chose that, right? Because there are a million people that have been through the same experience and chosen a completely different belief system. So I really believe that limiting beliefs are, they're really easy to recognize because actually they're the things just holding you back. They are flatly holding you back from the life and the dream that you want. So where a conditional belief comes in is it says something like, I can only lose weight. So you're not saying you can't, you're just saying you can only lose weight if you go carb free. I can only get rich if I work 90 hours a week. I can only be in a happy relationship if I give up my career. I can only. So it's only, if, and sometimes but. So that language really is like a conditional belief. Now, the danger is that some people do the work on their limiting beliefs, but they don't do the work on the conditional beliefs. And so what happens is they pull back and forth because they create such strict rules for themselves with the conditional beliefs that mean that they don't really make much progress. And so they give the limiting belief power. They give that limiting belief reason to come back because they're giving so much time and attention to that conditional belief that says, I can only have this if, I can only do this if. And that if is technically a but, right? So your conditional beliefs need just as much work, just as much attention and focus as your limiting ones do. So how do you overcome a limiting belief? Now, the truth is you first of all got to be aware of where it came from. I truly believe that. I think that if you don't know what experience led to that, where you came from, you won't see the value in overturning it. You won't see the value in rewriting how that came to be. You'll try to, but I actually think it's really important to do that inner work, to embrace, to think about the past, to think about where that might have come from. So by doing that inner work, then what you're allowing yourself to do is you're allowing yourself to recognize that you gave something meaning, that you gave something power over you. And you in that moment get to take your power back. So first of all, recognizing where it came from. Secondly, asking yourself, is it ultimately true? Now, just because it's true for you in a moment doesn't mean it's true universally for every single person as a flat fact. And so what you need to ask yourself is it universally true for everyone? And if the answer is no, then it doesn't have to be true for you. So once you've worked out that it doesn't have to be true, you've worked out where it came from, you actually do get to choose what you write instead. And this applies to both limiting and conditional beliefs. You get to choose what your belief system is moving forward. You get to choose who you want to be. The difference is you've told yourself that you don't. And you probably have a limiting and conditional belief about the fact that you don't, that society controls us, that you should follow what your mum said, that, you know, your husband calls the shots. And the challenge is that when you put yourself in such strict confines, it's really difficult to grow and blossom. So you can be doing all the personal development work, you can be reading all the books, you can be listening to all the podcasts, but the reality is if you aren't actually fully doing the work, and I've said this a lot in my mini courses this week, you know, don't just be a buyer and not a doer. Don't just buy the book, listen to the book, watch the video and then not take action, because it's the action and implementation where change occurs. If nothing changes, right? So you can be a sponge of all the knowledge, but if you don't take that knowledge and rock and roll with that moving forward, nothing in your life will change. Okay, so the biggest thing that comes to limiting and conditional beliefs, the way that I really believe the kind of the nail in the coffin to those beliefs is by taking action. Because when you take action in the direction of the life that you want, rather than the life that is led by your limits and conditions, what then happens is you start to find more evidence of the life that you want. You start to create evidence of the belief that you actually want to hold. And when you have evidence of the life you want to have, those beliefs are like, oh, we're not true anymore, right? Just because it was true at one time doesn't mean it's true forever. And so taking action gives you evidence. And I think that's the bit that people miss, is they think that the evidence will then present them to them because they wrote down they had a new belief. But you must take action. Now, I'm going to be talking a lot as well over the next couple of weeks, maybe next week's episode, all about inspired action, how to take inspired action over just getting it done. Because for me, the power to success, the power to scale, the power to grow, the power to quantum leap in whatever area of life absolutely comes down to you deciding to write your belief system and you deciding to be fully present and all in on everything that you're doing. Now, it doesn't mean you can be all on everything at one time, but it does mean that when you're doing something, you want to give it your absolute focus and attention for the period that you're doing it. And that's the mistake people make. They do that work to uncover the limiting beliefs, to work out they're not true, to maybe even write the new belief system and story. But because they don't take action, they don't bridge the evidence gap, they don't take that inspired action, they don't lean into it, nothing in their life actually changes. So it is your turn to do the work. And if you need help with building, breaking down and building a new belief system, make sure to check out my Build Your Belief bundle, my new mini courses at lucysuperfox.com/courses. All of the courses are under £300. because I really believe 5 modules, 5 videos, a ton of work, some extra bonus content. I really know that you can create massive change in whatever area you're looking for in these courses. So a mini short for this one as always, but thank you so much for joining me. This was the way that I see it, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.